So this clearing near Grange Wood in South Derbyshire is an area that I know really well. It's part of the new National Forest, and it's an area called Sence Valley and Mease Lowlands. And when I came to this area in the early 90s, all of this forest was just being created and planted. And I believe about 8 million trees have been planted since the early 90s, and they're not far off their target, but I think there's a few more million to be planted, and I'd like to be part of that, maybe growing some trees and planting more trees. But I've come to this area, and I remember it from years ago when the trees were saplings. They were small, and this was an area that I loved to come to bring my children. There was a bench over in the corner there, a wooden bench, and I used to bring the children for picnics. And we particularly like this spot because it's a wide open spot in the centre of all the tree planting. And in the middle there's a beautiful, I suppose you call it a monument or a statue, or a monument really, and there are 6 of these scattered across the new National Forest. And this particular one is designed by David Nash, and you can just see it in the background there. What you can't see is that on the other faces of that monument is like a gap, like the eye of a needle. And at certain times of the year, midsummer, midwinter, the sun shines through that gap. So it's a long time since I've been here. It's about 7 years since I've walked in this area, because I've moved about a little bit recently. And I've come back today, and I cannot believe how much this area of the forest has grown in 7 years. And it's really, so now it's 25 years old, this part of the forest. And it's really, I guess you could call it an early teenage forest. It's becoming very thick, very lush. A lot of the undergrowth, a lot of the brambles are growing up. And it is starting to feel like a more mature forest. But I was quite sad to see that some of the pathways are now private. I had hoped to, and quite innocently just thought, oh, I can just wander where I used to wander. And I find that some of the pathways are now private, and a lot of the new National Forest is planted up on private landowners, farmers' land, that type of thing. And a lot of these pathways are permissible pathways. And I'm just learning actually that a lot of the tenures were, say, for 10 years, 15 years, 25 years. So some of them are now complete, and I guess some of these paths are being withdrawn for public access, which I find quite sad, and I was a little bit miffed, I have to say, when I saw the private signs. There's still plenty of pathways left, but I could feel myself, feeling a bit irate, annoyance rising in me, and I was noticing all those feelings coming up, and just being with them and knowing that that's okay. It's okay to feel that. That's all part of my experience. And I guess when you've been used to having access to some beautiful landscape and it's suddenly withdrawn, or probably not suddenly, probably some years ago, but it's the first time I've seen that I can't go there anymore, then it brings up all sorts of feelings. And I guess that's the time when I can really use all my mindfulness skills and take some deep breaths and just notice what's going on in my own inner landscape, seeing all those thoughts and feelings coming up. And just sitting here and tuning in. I can hear the sounds around me and feel the ground beneath me. And it becomes easier for me to let those feelings go. So I can see that they're there and I can acknowledge them. I'm not pushing them away. They're part of me, of my thoughts, my feelings, part of my world. That's okay. I can choose to look at what's here, choose to see that there are other paths I can follow. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to go and explore the paths that I can follow and see what reveals itself to me. Tune in, use my eyes, use my ears, my nose, lots of beautiful smells. Earthy smells, the smells of late summer.